Hello, everybody. I'm Joe Rose. Welcome to A Cup of Joe, our last one of the season. The Miami Dolphins wrap up their regular season against the Buffalo Bills here at Hard Rock Stadium, always presented by Sirius XM NFL. We couldn't do it without them, so we want to thank them so much for being with us all year long. Great partners to be with. And, man, we got a lot of stuff to get to and talk about over the next few minutes when it comes to Miami Dolphins in this final game against the Buffalo Bills. As you know, we played each other just 2 weeks ago up in Buffalo, won by the Bills. Now the Buffalo Bills find themselves still with a chance to get one of those two playoff spots in the wild card. So that's what they're down here very motivated for today for the Miami Dolphins. Well, they got to find out some things. We're going to get you caught up on the injury bug that hit starting with Laramie Tunsil, who will not play today. He's not expected to play, which means, how about this? Zach Stirrup will get his first start at left tackle, one of the most important positions there is in the National Football League. That left tackle, the backside of your quarterback, will get his first start. Heck, he was a rookie free agent for the Cleveland Browns on their practice squad, picked up by the Miami Dolphins, and put on the 53-man roster for the Miami Dolphins when Jawan James went down. So if you don't know much about him, he's 6'9", about 320 pounds. Young guy, but wow, how about that for a first start today at left tackle? I say it's a great opportunity for him. We'll see how it all plays out today as he's going against a Buffalo Bills team that's going to run a lot of games, trying to confuse him. They'll go after him right away and see what he can do. Some other expected moves to be made today. Some guys getting some playing time expected to. Thomas Duarte. Remember that name? Thomas Duarte was a 7th-round pick in 2016 for the Miami Dolphins out of UCLA. He's expected to play today. You saw A.J. Derby last week. I think he'll also get some playing time. And then the other one that will play, or they're going to try to get, he got a lot of snaps with the first team this week, is the backup quarterback David Fales. Remember him from that 4th preseason game against Minnesota. He was lights out, played really well. Well, now there's talk that they're going to find out if he can play, try to get him some playing time today. But with all these moves, and Cordray Tankersley's expected back at his cornerback position today, with all those moves that will take place, Adam Gase wants to win this game. He wants to win this game. So I'm really curious to see how playing time will play out for some of the backups. I know they want to play some of the young guys, get them some snaps, see what they have in a game against the Buffalo Bills, know what the Buffalo Bills are playing for today. But Adam Gase wants to win this game. I talked to him this week, and it wasn't about, hey, we want to give this guy a look, that guy a look. That's what he wants to win this game. And so if you're wondering about the other guys and the guys that are capable of going, your better players, they're all going to play. If they can suit up today, they will play in this game. And speaking of the injury bug, how about the Miami Dolphins? 14 players now on injured reserve for the Miami Dolphins as they get set for this last game of the season. And they got to make a lot of tough decisions. You know that by now. Trying to figure out coaching staff, players that will be back. Do you like the system you're running on offense and defense? Can it be better? Are we getting the most out of our players that we have right now? And then all those financial decisions the Miami Dolphins have to make. Some big ones. And Ndamukong Suh's got a big cap number. I believe it's over $26 million next year. Ryan Tannehill's expected back. Is he your starter? Who's the backup quarterback? Do you draft a guy? All that stuff is going to be some tough, difficult situations, some difficult calls for the front office trying to figure out what's best for the Miami Dolphins moving forward. And I always say this, that's why they pay those guys the big bucks, because they got to make some crucial decisions for this franchise that have to be made, especially after you go 6-9, no matter what happens today, whether you win or lose. And, you know, I know some people are saying, well, I'd rather lose and pick 4 or 5 spots higher in the draft, and others are saying, hey, I want to win the football game. I came out to see the best Dolphin product. I want them to win. I don't care where they draft. That's their job to get the best player. So no matter what side you're on, this Dolphin team in the offseason, a lot of very difficult decisions have to be made for sure. Hey, let's talk about those Buffalo Bills. You don't think we know them? We played them 2 weeks ago. We know them very well. Had a great game plan for them. The problem was we need to do a very good job of covering and playing out our game plan that we were going to do, starting with Shady McCoy at running back, having a sensational season, going to a Pro Bowl, just playing out of his mind right now as he went over 10,000 yards a couple of weeks ago against the Miami Dolphins for his career. And the other guy that has just been an absolute Miami Dolphin killer, Tyrod Taylor. What do you say about Tyrod Taylor? Well, he has been sensational against the Dolphins. When he's not throwing touchdowns, he's running outside the pocket for touchdowns. They're going to have to slow. Those are two guys you have to key on today. And, of course, the other guy is Charles Clay, the former Miami Dolphin tight end, has also played really well against the Dolphins. They don't get a lot of production out of their wide receiver group, but you got to look at the tight end, Charles Clay. They got one of the best running backs in football, both coming out of the backfield as a pass receiver as well as running the football. And for some reason, Tyrod Taylor, most people will believe when this season's over, whether they get into the playoff position or they don't, they'll be moving on from Tyrod Taylor and are expected to draft a quarterback in the first round. As you probably know by now, this is a very strong class for the draft at the quarterback position. Because of that, there's going to be a lot of teams maybe moving up and trying to get one of those 4 or 5 top players for this upcoming draft. So a lot of stuff going on today for the Miami Dolphins. Some of those ugly numbers. Hey, Dolphins, have, in my mind, have played one really clean game, maybe 2 when you look at the Denver Broncos, but the New England Patriots, by far their best game of the season. Just played with true perfection on both sides of the ball, dominated early right to the end of the game. Just outstanding, I thought, from the coaching standpoint to the way your players played. They played fantastic in that game. So those have been the 2 games since then. Haven't looked good in Buffalo, didn't look good in Kansas City, but do play a lot better at home. So if you're looking at that today, some numbers have got to get cleaned up, some numbers in the offseason that will be talked about. I call them the ugly ones. Are you ready now for the ugly ones here? First thing in the morning, let's get into it. 28 turnovers by the offense of the Miami Dolphins. That's 3rd worst in the NFL. It's terrible. 123 penalties. That's 2nd to the last in the National Football League. That's terrible. And 3rd down conversion, dead last for the Miami Dolphins at 31%. That's not going to get it done. Those numbers, more than any other numbers for me, have to get a lot better. We'll see today. I know the coaches talked about them all year, taking care of the ball, being smart, knowing your coverages and all the other things, and not getting these stupid penalties because, as you know, watching Dolphin games, a lot of big plays have been called back. A lot of first downs have been called back. The Dolphins end up going for maybe scoring a touchdown, maybe kicking a field goal, to being backed up and punting the football and being in real bad situations. Last week, a real bizarre one. 2 of your best wide receivers both fumble after catches, after first downs, in really good field position in Kenny Stills and Jarvis Landry, which really, really killed the Miami Dolphins. Hey, I got some other stuff I got to get to. I almost forgot. Don't forget, you can watch today's game on CBS at 4:25. Remember, all the games got moved today. Anybody that has a chance at that wild card position in the AFC, they're all playing. All the games got moved. So Baltimore, Tennessee, LA Chargers, and the Buffalo Bills games all got moved to 4:25. I love what the NFL did to make sure everybody plays hard and tries to win this game. No resting players, no looking ahead to next week, because you might have found out earlier you got in the playoffs. Everybody's going to play at the same time today, so I really like that. So that game will be seen here, 4:25 on CBS, or you can listen to the game on 560 WQAM. Bob, Jimmy, and Bo will have the call, and they'll be involved in that, as well as 99.9 FM if you want to go to the FM station. So either way, those are all the ways you can listen or watch the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills today as we get set. As you look at Dolphins, listen, they want to win this game. The game plan set up no matter who's playing, and it'll be a majority of it. The one concern I have today I talked about it before, is that Zach Stirrup's going to get his first start at left tackle. Not exactly a position to be getting your first start in the last regular season game of the season when they're playing, the Buffalo Bills are playing for a lot. Put a lot of pressure on Brady a week ago, and now you get a guy. It's a great opportunity for Zach Stirrup. They want to find out what they got. It's a great opportunity for him. How will he play in that situation? So we'll find out. If things don't work out at that today, I believe what will happen is, now I could be off on this, but I don't think I am, Sam Young would move to left tackle. Then they could take Jesse Davis, move him out to right tackle, and then move one of the backup guards in there. Isaac Asiata, could this be the day he suits up for the Miami Dolphins? Could it happen? You got to suit up 7 offensive linemen. We know that. This could be a day he finally gets a chance to put on the uniform in a regular season game. Hey, so those are some of the keys. Getting back to, for the Miami Dolphins to have a chance to win this game. For people still watching, still want to be entertained the last week of the National Football League for the Miami Dolphins, hey, man, you got to slow down McCoy. You never stop him. They're going to run the ball to him. They're going to throw the ball to him. You're not going to completely stop him. They actually, outside of the 2 touchdowns he had, did a pretty good job against him. The guy that's been the killer for me is Tyrod Taylor. He's going to run. If he drops back and there's lanes open, he sees man-to-man, he's going to take off and run on you. And he has been so accurate throwing the football. You would think this guy'd be in the Pro Bowl, by the way he plays against the Miami Dolphins. Get pressure on him. Stay in your lane. Don't get caught. Don't get caught inside when you're supposed to be outside where he can take off and run. If you do that, you're going to be in for a long, long day, so that's something to keep an eye on. Hey, let's take a look at the field from last night. As you know, and I talked to a Buffalo Bills radio station this week. They're asking me first thing, hey, Joe, what about the field? We're worried about the field. Well, I just want to say this. This is the best grass turf we've had by far this season. We've changed out the field, I believe it's 6 times now. Last night was a big one. You know, the Orange Bowl. Wisconsin beat the Miami Hurricanes here last night, not that long ago. So we've got that going on. Want to let you know all those logos from the sponsorship from last night's game have all been ripped out. It looks like a Miami Dolphin field. They got rid of all the Orange Bowl stuff from last night, and you'll see a completely different field. And I got to tell you, the field, for people that actually worry about the field and what it's like, is in really good shape. Those guys worked all night, had the machines out, and got everything done from that standpoint. So it looks really, really good. And, of course, I come out. I'm so nosy, I got to get in and check. So I think it looks pretty good, and we're okay. So what do we got going here, you guys? What's going on? What?
Helping out with the flag.
Oh, is this for the flag? Okay. All right, so working on the flag team, getting everything ready. They're getting coached up over here on what they're going to be doing and stuff. So we got all that stuff. We got these guys taking pictures. Here, while they're taking pictures, we're taking pictures of you guys. There you go. Go Fans. See, they never quit on us, man. Even when it's bad, these guys are sticking with us. So it's nice to know. So this is stuff you work on before the game. We're going to go ahead and we're going to walk around here. We got 2 minutes. Come on, let's do this real quick. We want to take a look over here. Take a look here. Watch your step. Watch your step. I don't want anybody to get hurt on our team here, man. We only got a couple of minutes left here, and this will be the last Cup of Joe. Of course, we want to thank the folks from Sirius XM NFL. Fantastic sponsors to have. So we got the whole group coming in here practicing. This is a pretty good group. I think we're in pretty good shape with this group today. I think we're going to be okay with this group. Love you, man. Jarvis Landry, let's get him re-signed. Let's get that taken care of. Come on through, you guys. We'll take a look over here. Hey, a little different than the weather we've had the last couple weeks, right? So big thing for the Dolphins. We go from the heaters the last couple weeks to fans set up. Expected to be right about 70 degrees today. But it's always amazing when you get here 3 or 4 hours before the game of all the work that goes in to getting the fields ready. Those guys have been working on it to make sure it's dry, to slip in things, very important to the National Football League as well as the Miami Dolphins. I think the field will be in great shape. And the Dolphins are going to play this friggin' game to win. Hey, I'd like to think – I think Jakeem Grant will play more football today. Kenyon Drake will play more football and get all those guys. And Jarvis Landry just a few catches away from going to 400 catches in 4 years. Unbelievable what he's been able to do. Hey, we're out of time. I'm getting the big wrap. Want to thank everybody for being with us live here this morning. Don't forget, we'll wrap it up today. Adam Gates will play this sucker to win today. Appreciate you guys being with us all season long. Happy New Year. Have a great night. Stay safe tonight. Enjoy the Dolphins today. We'll see you soon.